Welcome back to Capital Connections. Carly Fiorina, who's running for president, is going to speak about student debt and use that to springboard into the role of government in our lives.
One of the things that I think we have to do to win this election and to right this country and restore possibilities for everyone in this nation by cutting government down to size is I think we have to tell people what's really going on. So, student debt has increased 50% under this administration. Do you know why? Most people don't know why, so don't be embarrassed if you don't know why. The reason why is the federal government took over the student loan business. The federal government buried in one of the thousands and thousands and thousands of pages of Obamacare, the federal government buried a decision that they were going to become the student loan business. And so instead of having a competitive business where, you actually have some choices, the federal government said, no, we're going to be in the student loan business. And by the way, we're going to tell you what the interest on your debt is going to be. And the federal government decided the interest on your debt was going to be about somewhere between 4.5% and 6.5%. And meanwhile, the government pays on its own debt somewhere between 1.5% and 2.5%. Now, does that sound like a racket to you? That's because it is. That's because it is. The federal government is making money off of students. And not only that, the federal government is telling people, deciding for people where your student loans can be used. So in other words, the government has been in the process of what it calls accreditation. And they're basically saying, no, you can only, these loans will only work if you go to one of these colleges that we've accredited. This is how socialism starts, ladies and gentlemen, honestly. Government creates a problem, and then government steps in to solve the problem. The government should not be in the student loan business. It needs to be a competitive industry once again. The government should not be dictating what qualifies as an appropriate four-year education. Yes, there can be some basic rules, but the truth is, in 2015, there are all kinds of new models for educating people. Many people do better with a 2-year technical degree. That's what my husband got all those many years ago. It served him very well. There's so much technology in education. But the government gets to decide, well, a massively open online coursework done all online, that doesn't qualify. A for-profit university may not qualify. Why is it the government's job to loan you the money, tell you how much you're going to pay on that money, and then tell you where you're going to spend that money? But that's what the government is doing today. The government needs to get out of that business. And by the way, we need to create more jobs so you can go to work.
Carly Fiorina was asked why she would be the best candidate to go up against Hillary, and she responded, it's really not because she's a woman.
In your heart of hearts, you know you cannot wait to see me debate Hillary Clinton. You know that. You know that. And the reason you can't wait is because you know what's going to happen. I'm going to beat her. And ladies and gentlemen, it's really important that we win. Unlike Hillary Clinton, though, I will never ask for your vote because I am a woman, although I'm proud to be one. But I'm not going to ask for your vote because I'm a woman. I'm asking for your vote because I'm the best candidate to win this job, and I'm the best candidate to do this job. I think I'll close by asking you to think about what it takes to win and do the job. You know what it takes to win this job. You see it every day out there. We better have someone who is fearless, because the liberals are going to throw everything they got at this election. And we also better have somebody who can explain to people what's really going on. Bernie Sanders says the answer to crony capitalism is more government. We need somebody who can explain it and who will fight all the way. To do the job requires, I think, a leader who understands how the economy actually works so that we can get it going and growing again, not reading about it in a book, knowing how it works. We need somebody who understands how the world works and who's in the world and how people view strength and weakness. We need somebody who understands bureaucracies, because we're going to have to cut this one down to size and hold it accountable. We need a leader who understands technology, because technology is a great tool that we can use to re-engage citizens in the process of their government. It's also a weapon that's being used against us. And no, Mrs. Clinton, you can't wipe a server with a towel. And yes, indeed, you can put more than one email account on a device. But most of all, I think, honestly, we need somebody who understands what leadership is, because they've done it. Leaders challenge the status quo. A leader knows that there are times when a tough call needs to be made, and then a leader is prepared to make that call, stand up, and be held accountable. But the highest calling of leadership, honestly, is to unlock potential in others. And we now need a leader who will unlock the potential of this nation.
Thank you for joining us for this edition of Capital Connections, your weekly access to politics and policy along the I-89 and I-91 corridors and how it impacts our region. If you have a comment or an idea for a future show, please email me. And please join us again at this same time next week for another edition of Capital Connection.